G'day everyone, welcome back to Pete's Investing. Today is May the 20th, 2023. This is the crude oil price update. On the weekly and the daily, on the weekly we're primarily on a downtrend or a bearish environment, so only short trades primarily. And on the daily it's broken up into a neutral positioning. So the way you read these, let's go quickly recap what the triple moving average of the price chart on the weekly. That's moving average 3, 5 and 60 with the CCI 150 moving average 5 and 50, and they're both in a decline, which is showing a bearish trend. So primarily bearish trends based on the weekly trend. On the daily, we've got the same indicator down here, but you can see there it's neutral. We've got the CCI breaking to the upside ever so slightly, and that's causing this neutral positioning between the CCI and the price chart. We've also got this key support down here at 64.36, a key resistance at 83.40. And these are crisscross diagonals, and I'm going to keep all those in there because generally it gravitates to one of them or to a few of them over time. Now, what it's been doing, it's been bounced off the support down here, and I've got a Fibonacci retracement between that high and that low, and it's currently bounced off the 50% in the last few days, and its 50% is at 73.53, and it's been consolidating in that range around close between the 38% and the 50% level. So on the daily, it's a neutral positioning, so it's very undecided at the moment. However, on the hourly, I've got a couple of things to show you here. Number one, we've got this, let me first show you this divergence, which is still playing out, and that was between that range there, the bullish divergence on the CCI versus a bearish divergence on the price chart. Now, it's actually slightly broken up from that. If you draw a trend line from between that point and continue it, it's broken up through that trend line, whereas the CCI is pretty much flat as we read it. So the way you would trade that would be you'd put in a little box here, and that's basically a target area, and that corresponds with the 50% to the 61% Fibonacci retracement between the most recent high and low range, and that's where you would put a target. Again, we're predominantly looking at if you're going to trade more confidently, I prefer to trade, in this case, short positions. So even though that's short in those days, in that period there, that would have been the ideal place to place short positions during that period on the hourly chart. Now up here I've got go back to this divergence. So this is suggesting going long. So if you're going to trade this, I'd suggest it's a bit of a gamble. So trade at your own risk. But these generally play out. And for this to fail, we need to see the CCI break to the downside. Likewise, the price to also collapse. But we may see a bit of a retrace up into this little area, possibly, or even higher. But if you're going to trade this, I'd put a target in there, in that area there, as soon as that broke out from that. So you would have probably placed a trade at these fractal breakouts, probably at one of those areas there. So that'll be a potential short-term target. Now, what I've got up here is I've got a if I zoom out, I've got this long positioning back testing. You'll notice here there's a bit of a drawdown hit on your profitability, and the way to avoid that would be to only trade in the direction of the weekly and daily periods. So again, if I zoom out, you can see there during that period there are a few long trades to be made on the daily, and that corresponded with the weekly as well. And since that decline, you see there on the weekly, there's no long trades. Likewise on the daily, hence you would have avoided taking those long trades from that point on, so you would not have been hit with that drawdown. So to understand how to trade this and other trading ideas, reference the links in the description below. Subscribe to my Patreon page, which we also use weekly scans on stocks, currencies and commodities. Subscribe, like and share the channel. Thanks for watching, and see you in a future video.